Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. There's a lot to cover, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. U.S. Representative Patrick McHenry, ranking member of the Financial Services Committee, confirms why Bitcoin is shaking up governments, banks, and institutional and retail investors around the globe. He said there's no capacity to kill Bitcoin. Speaking on CNBC's Squawk Box, McHenry gives an overview of the government's efforts to tame Libra and its development team at Facebook by holding consecutive Senate hearings. In large part, the hearings reveal Libra's threat as a game changer in global finance with the power to reach billions of people overnight. According to McHenry, he said, and I do quote, "The issue here is there's a knee-jerk reaction to kill it before it grows. There's a white paper, that's an idea, and there's a consortium of companies, some of which have better reputations than Facebook, that are developing a digital payment platform and a digital currency. Interesting, right? Instead, we have a knee-jerk reaction to kill an idea," end quote. McHenry questions the role of government in private enterprise and intervention in the development of business concepts. Slaying Facebook over its latest innovation has raised concerns about the government's willingness to support the foundational tenets of free markets, free enterprise, product competition, and the country's history of invigorating capitalism, jobs, and leadership through innovation. The other really interesting part is somewhere around here. Where is it? There we go. Host Andrew Sorskin, Ross Sorskin, who posits that governments have a monopoly on money, asked McHenry if lawmakers will ultimately try to stifle the crypto industry or if they'll leave it to flourish. He said, long term, do you think that regulators and politicians like yourself will allow the emergence of these new types of currencies if they don't look a lot like the regulations and guardrails that we currently have around fiat currency and money? McHenry said, well, I think there's no capacity to kill Bitcoin. Even the Chinese with their firewall and their extreme intervention in the society couldn't kill Bitcoin. So a distributed ledger, full and open in the essence of Bitcoin, as a first major mover in the space, the developer of this technology, blockchain, and digital currencies, end quote. When Sorskin jumped to the point on Bitcoin's price, so they talked about Bitcoin going up and down, the speculative nature of it, Trump talking about Bitcoin as well. There was another really interesting part that he says, my point here is you can't kill Bitcoin, but many iterations of this are going to try to mimic it. They are not fully distributed. They are not fully open. There are different mechanisms to kill it. Where was the other really interesting part? I think he was asking him if he also planned on trying to stop Coinbase. It kind of came down to the point that they were thinking of, how do I put this into words? The idea was from regulators is that even if you stopped something like Coinbase, because regulators for some reason only think that Coinbase is the only place where people buy and sell cryptocurrencies, that people would start using it in a dark manner. It says Bitcoin will then live in the shadows, but boy, it's not going to live in the mainstream. That is, if they put a hamper on something like Coinbase from having access to American citizens. Very, very weird. This ties almost directly once again into the same exact thing we were talking about a couple of days ago, and also to the thing that just happened. What was it, yesterday? So yesterday there was another hearing for the whole Facebook thing. And then the day before that, there was another hearing, but this hearing was, I want to say, just as intense. So here, this is right here. U.S. lawmakers repeatedly pressed Facebook's top blockchain executive to halt the development of the Libra cryptocurrency during a contentious hearing on the project on Wednesday. They didn't get far. David Marcus, who was the guy who was talking the other day as well, the CEO of Facebook's subsidiary known as Calibra, reiterated his promise that Libra would not launch until regulators' concerns were fully addressed, but he stopped short of committing to freezing technical work on the project, much of the jargon of the House Financial Services Committee members. The committee's chairwoman, Representative Maxine Waters, had previously called for a moratorium, and it was one of the first things she brought up in the hearing, asking the Facebook executive. She said, will you stop dancing around this question and commit here in this committee to a moratorium until Congress enacts an appropriate legal framework to ensure that Libra and Calibra do what you claim it would do? Marcus responded roughly with the same thing he's been saying for the last couple of weeks. He said, I agree with you. This needs to be analyzed and understood before it can be launched, and this is my commitment to you. We will take time to get this right. Representative Carolyn Maloney raised the issue during her question to Marcus. He started to give a similar answer to what he said earlier, but before he could finish, she cut him off and said, "I will take that as a no." Maloney then asked Marcus if he would at least promise to do a small pilot test of Libra involving no more than 1 million users and overseen by the Federal Reserve and the Securities and Exchange Commission before fully launching the currency. Again, he demurred, saying only that he would commit to working with regulators. My gosh, can you imagine how frustrating that has to be be one of these people on the panel to ask someone a question and they don't answer you? Not that a pilot would be her preferred outcome. She said, "I don't think you should launch a new currency at all." Everything is looking weird. It looks like at this point, I'm actually shocked how, I want to use the word brazen, that the people from Facebook are when it comes to this entire thing, that they're the entire initiative of Libra and Calibra that they're trying to get going. I was expecting more of a backlash, in my opinion, from the US government towards Facebook, or rather, I was expecting some type of a decree. I assume something like this may appear within the next couple of weeks. I assume if we've had people before in the past talking about in the US government banning Bitcoin or not allowing any US citizen to touch Bitcoin, you'd better believe with all the huff and fluff that's been going on the last couple of weeks that there are at least 5 bills or something that's being written up, that's being proposed to kind of order Facebook to completely stop this. What it appears like right now after the 2 hearings, and it doesn't appear that there are any more in the works, as we have not heard anything. These were the most important ones. The 16th and the 17th of July were the big dates that we've been waiting for about a good month and a half as far as if anything was going to happen. They have happened, and it looks like Facebook's Libra is going to launch. It looks like they're probably on schedule. I was expecting, like I said, more of a, not like a backlash, but more of like a, well, this is what we have. You can't do this. We are ordering you so and so and so. And therefore, things would kind of go that way. But it appears all they were able to do was simply ask questions and say, can you please not do this? Or is there any chance that you might not think about possibly one day doing this as well? It's very, very weird. And I wonder what the outcome of this will be. I think somebody, or rather I saw a couple of people not really understanding what I said. That happens often. Maybe I talk too fast. Maybe I say things, maybe it makes sense in my head before I say it out loud. I was saying the other day how I wonder what the possibilities of the world would look like if Facebook does end up launching Calibra. I think people took that as me saying I definitely want them to launch it, or rather I'm supporting Calibra or Libra. It's more like a, we've heard about the illicit use of the US dollar for a very long time, and how at some point the US dollar was going to be challenged by other currencies. We thought it was going to be either Russia or India or China that were going to be the precursors to the end of the US dollar, but it appears it may be something as simple as a company that launched, what was it, 15, 16 something years ago? And now it looks like they are at the forefront of pushing the US dollar aside along with Bitcoin. So I was expecting, like I said, something a bit more harsh against Facebook. I assume there probably will be, I mean, it's only July, middle of July, so I assume there will be another Senate congressional meeting, hearing, shakedown, talk, blah, 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 whatever, in the next couple of months as well. I'm pretty sure they're trying to plan another one, but I'm pretty sure Facebook is going to launch this. And I wonder what's going to happen. I was watching something online. I'm not sure if it was on CNBC or like what, it was some financial news thing, and they were talking about if this does officially launch, and even if they do a softer launch and it just kind of hits a couple 20, 30, 40, 50 million people as opposed to the full 2.7 billion who have registered accounts on their platform, the amount of power that this will start to siphon away from other governments and countries. Because, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, and bear with me on this one, the last couple of days, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. A lot of people. And when this is a mini discussion and also a forewarning, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that app that's floating around where everyone puts their face on it and they look really old. It's been everywhere, all over the place. People keep sending me their photos of how old they're going to look when they're 80 and blah, 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 so and so and so. All of that information One is a lot of the apps like this that people are using, all the information usually gets sent to China, and you're sending your information to another platform. Rather, you're giving, I can't even put the whole sentence into words. People follow trends very quickly, and they follow trends because they see other people following the trends. Facebook is, as a company, intelligent enough to figure out a way almost immediately to get multiple hundreds of millions of people either back onto their platform, more people onto their platform, or to simply have a way for people to, if they kind of sprinkle Calibra on every single user and say, hey, here's a couple of Calibra bucks, go buy something nice, trade it with your friends, do so and so and so. You know, the games that Facebook has on their platform, if they tell all the people on the platform, or if they make new games where you can win Calibra, or they have gambling things, or they have new farm so-and-so, farm Calibra, all these other things, and you can win this money, and also things start popping up saying, hey, you can also buy something with this. It's going to catch on immediately like wildfire. The point of the Face app was that people like to follow trends. All it takes is an app or an idea to get millions of people onto their platform using their cryptocurrency. And the entire other point of the Face app is before you download something onto your phone and it says, can we do this? Do you allow this? So and so and so. Try and read through some of it, because a lot of the people are starting to realize that those Face app things are usually based in other countries. And what they're doing is they're taking your image and they have a scan of what you look like now and what you could potentially look like in the future. Just keep these things in mind. People are far too quick to do things to kind of stand out to other people or to show other people that they're doing it. And I know at least a good 100 people in my life. The moment that Facebook advertises to them that there's a new way to use money on their platform, or you can transfer money from your bank account onto Facebook, or that you can use it in so and so and it's a lot easier, and that you'll be able to, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Lyft and Uber are partners with this entire thing, especially Visa, MasterCard, I think Airbnb. So if there's a situation where you can put money onto these things, if you get a discount for paying in Calibra, if you're trying to take a self-driving Uber next year and you get a 15-20% discount for using Calibra for the first like 4 or 5 times, people are going to start using Calibra and Libra very quickly. The overall point is that this thing will spread like wildfire. I know that it's going to. It's going to be a great moment for the cryptocurrency industry and for Bitcoin, and all the prices will go up and we'll say, yay, it'll be fantastic. But what will come of this afterwards? Like, Facebook is positioning itself to be an enormous entity in the world who people are going to start sharing more of their data and more of their personal life with. And we know that Facebook is garbage. We know that Facebook is not to be trusted. So you kind of find yourself sitting on both sides of the table, where you don't necessarily agree with regulators, but you also agree with them that something kind of has to be done, because this is going to be very, I want to use the word dystopian. For those of you who may be, I don't want to use the words a bit older. I remember when I was younger, I remember my grandmother and other grandparents telling me about like governmental tracking, and especially a while ago, you know, putting things under tables to listen to people, tapping phones and all this other stuff. And we now live in a world where we give this information away for free, where we are trusting big corporations with our money, with our images, with our time, with our private messages. It's very, very odd. And so I get where the regulators are coming from. But it looks like at this point, it's going to be a very, we're entering a period where it's going to be a government versus people versus corporation type of thing. And if you don't see that coming, I've seen people in the comment section talking about, no, that's not going to be a thing. No, Facebook isn't that powerful. Why do you think we're having all of these things? Like, there have been no moratorium calls or Senate hearings or congressional meetings against Litecoin. I mean, you can't really do it against, you can't really do anything against Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin office. You can't go and charge anything against Bitcoin. But anyway, without spending even too much time on this particular topic, this also ties directly into the next story. Social media giant Facebook has reportedly not contacted Swiss regulators regarding the registration of its long-awaited cryptocurrency project known as Libra. On the 16th of July, Hugo Weiler, a spokesperson for and head of communication at the Swiss Federal Data Protection and Information Commissioner, or the FDPIC, told CNBC that the agency has not been contacted by the promoters of Libra. Notably, the Libra project's head, David Marcus, mentioned in his testimony that the FDPIC would be the Libra's association privacy regulator. He said, for the purposes of data and privacy protections, the Swiss Federal Data Protection and Information Commissioner will be the Libra Association's privacy regulator. Weiler said that we have taken note of the statement made by David Marcus, chief of Libra, on our potential role as data protection supervisory authority in the Libra context. Until today, we have not been contacted by the promoters of Libra. For those who don't understand what in the world I'm talking about, the entire point of the entire Facebook Libra coin thing is that regulators, one of the women here, was asking David Marcus, if you have not registered in the US, where have you registered? And David Marcus said, on the 17th and 16th, we have registered in Switzerland. We are going to be opening in Switzerland our cryptocurrency, blah, 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 and our company are in Switzerland, registered in Switzerland, Switzerland. And now the head of communication at the Swiss Federal Data Protection and Information Commissioner has said, nope, we've never spoken to them. We've not been contacted. We have no idea what they're talking about. Something strange is happening, and I'm not exactly sure to what degree. I find it a bit weird that a company as large as Facebook would lie. I don't think this person is lying, but something is definitely afoot. This was a major thing, especially, I think, a day or two after people were done combing through the Facebook Libra white paper and trying to figure out exactly what was going on. I'm pretty sure they've mentioned multiple times that we are registered in Switzerland, or we are under the jurisdiction of the law within Switzerland. But apparently they haven't even contacted them. So, yeah, I assume we'll get even more news about this. This is the weirdest thing in the entire world. Like, I wonder exactly a year from now where we'll be with all of this, because it just gets weirder by the day. We have not had any other hearings in other countries, at least public ones, with the people from Facebook. It appears that the people from Facebook have said that they have sat with other committee members, governments around the world about the Libra project, but it appears they haven't done so in the country where they said that they had registered. So let's move on. Next up, a new Ethereum-based video game just raised $3.75 million in seed money from Coinbase Ventures, Initialized Capital, Polychain Capital, and other blockchain investment firms. The game is called SkyWeaver and is designed to take on heavyweights like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone. They said, finally, it's here. Our private beta starts today. Our game has a lot of heart behind it, and we can't wait for you to jump in and play. Here's the actual website right here. One, this is not paid advertising. Two, the reason I'm mentioning this is because so the idea behind the major adoption of the cryptocurrency space is, or has been for a long time, is something called a killer app, i.e. something that people will download, use automatically, people will love, people will find amazing, awesome, powerful, whatever the actual case might be, and then they end up using it on a daily basis, and therefore this is the beginning of the mega adoption of cryptocurrencies. This one, and I even mentioned before, I do like the idea of decentralized video games, so I kind of want to start getting them into them more myself. This one is built on top of Ethereum. Part of the problem that I've had before with the decentralized games on Ethereum is that the Ethereum network still is very slow. And the other part is that you have to pay for every transaction that happens on the network. And also, I tried playing another game. I forgot what the name of the game was. It was some other card, amazing, awesome game on Ethereum. But what was it? I think you had to pay for every single thing that happened. So even you had to upload Ether to the game to be able to pay for every transaction, which was every click that happened. And then you also had to pay for card packs. You had to pay for just about every single thing that was happening. So, like I said, not paid advertising, but I think I'm actually going to try and give this one a chance. It says free to play. We'll see. I would like to get more into the decentralized gaming world. However, I hope that this one is actually free to do stuff, and you also get free. Anyway, yeah, I like things like this. There's a huge movement between Tron, Ethereum, and EOS, where there are a lot of people trying to build games on these platforms, because if you don't know, online card games are huge, and I mean absolutely massive. So I don't know the company, but let's hope that they end up surviving or end up doing very well. I think you can actually start playing the game. Apparently it's on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iPhone, iPad, and Android. I think there's something down here. Yeah, where you can like get early access. Kind of cool. I think I'm going to sign up myself. And let's move on. Next up, Liquid, the cryptocurrency exchange platform operated by Japanese startup Quoine, Q-U-O-I-N-E. I'm going to say Coiny. Anyway, has listed OmiseGo paired with Bitcoin and Ethereum. The exchange has also paired Bcash with the stablecoin USDC. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Liquid is also, they must be using, I think it would be weird if they have the exact same name. Liquid is also the name of one of the side chains for Bitcoin that allows exchanges to kind of send money between themselves very rapidly. Or it could just be a cryptocurrency exchange that has the same exact name as the sidechain. Anyway, they've added OmiseGo paired with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We don't hear about OmiseGo as often, which is a shame. Let's hope we hear more about them very soon. I feel like we should have definitely had a little bit of information as far as Plasma at this point, but kind of is what it is. To finish things off, United States cryptocurrency exchange known as Coinbase has abruptly imposed a minimum deposit amount of 1,000 British pounds for UK account holders, staff reportedly confirmed in a private email on the 16th of July. Coinbase, which previously allowed UK users to deposit fiat funds via the country's faster payments settlement system, has now suspended the service, they said. Instead, users must use the standard international transfer option, sending funds via SWIFT, subject to a minimum payment amount of 1,000 GBP. An email seen by Cointelegraph, Coinbase support staff did not disclose the motivation for the sudden change, which ends an agreement in place since August of last year. They said, we've temporarily suspended faster payments and added support for GBP SWIFT payments in the interim. A lot of people, so I saw people commenting on this and discussing this, and apparently people were saying, oh, it's fake news, it doesn't make any sense. I just bought money, I just bought crypto from Coinbase with my card. The point is, it's not you buying it, it's you depositing money onto their platform, and it appears that they have a minimum deposit requirement of 1,000 British pounds as the minimum, so it means you can't do $9.99 anymore. And also, what was the other thing? You have to now use SWIFT if you were trying to do it as well. No real reason, but just be aware if you are in the UK and you are trying to send money to Coinbase to trade with, to buy when prices go lower, you now have to have 1,000 pounds minimum, and apparently it's going to take 10 days to do so. Fun, great. Sure, that's the news a lot of people wanted. As always, a very special, there we go. Thank you. Go away. To my Patreon supporters, I was throwing stuff all over the table, reaching for my phone. Mechanic, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Arthur Yaku, Minting Coins, Jim Gardner, Jeremy the Photographer, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips, Leg Day, Pexis, Vlad the Impaler, Cody, RF Dusty, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Nicholas Runner, One Piece, One Love, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Clara T, Snowden, Jeffrey Ramsey, Amy Starsheen, Yasha Harari, Rai, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Carl Bergenov, Mohamed Maroni, Crypto Joe, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, L. Doug, Brady Niels, Crypto Beer Shipmate, Adobo, My Keto Kitchen, Triple M and J, Janae Francis, Master Ventures in Thailand, Bankroll Network, and Professor Wally from Gunnabat University. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. The market's green. It's not very green, but it's still kind of green. Bitcoin is currently at $9,722 US. I saw a lot of people discussing that Bitcoin had apparently bounced off of, what was it, $9,100, and apparently analysts are saying that the trend is possibly over and that we could be trying to have a push towards over $10,000 once again. One of the biggest winners at the moment is actually Litecoin. Apparently, we are 17 days, if I am not mistaken, from the reward being cut in half. And a lot of people think, as Litecoin is up almost 14%, that this could be a fear of missing out on Litecoin's price rising, having scenario party type motivation. Binance Coin is also up by almost 12%. Binance Coin is always being used. No real surprise that Binance Coin is up. No other. Chainlink is up. Also kind of cool. Egretia, EGT is also up by 23%. Never hear about it in the news, but hooray for them. And Nano's also up by 22%. I don't believe there was any. 14 million trading volume. That can be done in one trade. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. This Facebook thing is getting a little weird, and I will definitely be talking to you all soon. See you.